From being hailed as the next James Harden to getting arrested and kicked out of the NBA, Kevin Porter Jr.'s journey is a cautionary tale.
The scouts were drawn by the intrigue as much as the talent. There came comparisons to one of the NBA's biggest stars.
Kevin Porter was born on May 4, 2000 in Seattle, Washington. From an early age, basketball was an escape, his passion and his way out. But the streets of Seattle had raised him into the man he promised not to become.
I remember me just picking up a ball and just dribbling it. And my family was like, oh, because I was so small.
His father, Kevin Porter Sr., was no stranger to trouble. He had already served 4 years in prison for manslaughter in the 1990s after shooting a 14-year-old girl. Can you imagine? Shooting a 14-year-old girl. But despite his past, he was trying to be a father to young Kevin Jr. and steered him into the right direction. On July 17, 2004, tragedy struck. Kevin Porter Sr. was shot and killed outside a bar in Seattle. Reports say he was trying to help a friend who was being harassed when a fight broke out, but in chaotic turns of event, a man pulled a gun out and shot him 5 times. Young Porter Jr. was only 4 years old when it happened. He had lost his father to the same streets he would later try to escape through basketball. The pain of that loss stayed with him, shaping the young star's mentality, but also fueling the anger issues that will haunt him later in life. To me, this is very much comparable to the John Wall story. John Wall's dad was also shot and killed when he was younger, and I see a lot of Kevin Porter when I watch John Wall. I see a lot of John Wall when I watch Kevin Porter. In my opinion, the next James Harden. Despite the hardships, KPJ became a standout at Rainier Beach High School, one of the best basketball programs in the country. His smooth handles, elite shot creation, and explosive athleticism drew comparisons to James Harden. As you watch this film, you see a lot of comparisons, the way they play, the step back. I see a lot of James Harden when I watch KPJ. In high school, Kevin Porter Jr. averaged 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists per game as a senior. Named Washington's Mr. Basketball in 2018, he led Rainier Beach to the state championship game. He was a 4-star recruit ranked in ESPN's top 35 for his class. KPJ's stock was rising and he was buzzing. With his name buzzing nationally, KPJ committed to USC for college basketball. But this is when the negative side of Porter Jr. started to show. KPJ averaged 9.5 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game in just 21 minutes per game, shooting 47% from the field and 41% from the three, which is, kind of great efficiency. Although he missed 10 games due to a quad injury and a personal conduct suspension, the USC coach staff questioned his maturity and commitment. In college, this is the worst, just the worst thing you could, have on your record in college. The NBA sees this. You're a high stocking player in the NBA draft. You're missing games because of personal conduct. That was not a good look for Porter Jr. Porter's freshman season at USC in 2018-19 started off strong, but soon after, the off-court issues overshadowed his talent. I mean, when you're compared to James Harden in high school and college, I'm not surprised that the NBA scouts kind of, ignored this, negative side of him. Despite the red flags, NBA scouts remained intrigued by his raw potential. He entered the 2019 NBA draft as a high-risk but high-reward prospect. He was drafted 30th overall by the Bucks in the 2019 NBA draft, but was later traded to the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers believed that they had stolen a future superstar, but KPJ's problems were just getting started. As a rookie playing for Cleveland Cavaliers, he averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds a game, 2 assists per game as a rookie. Scored a career-high 30 points in a game versus the Heat. He showed flashes of elite shot making and ball handling, and of course, showed flashes of the next James Harden. Despite a pretty well rookie season, his problems were just getting started, as well as a locker room outburst that led to his trade to Houston.
That Porter reportedly got into a screaming match with Cavs brass and threw some food in the locker room. Remember, J.R. Smith members of the roster were informed he would no longer be on the team. As mentioned, The Athletic first reported this incident.
He was suspended indefinitely, then traded to the Houston for a second-round pick. To trade somebody that was the 30th pick for a second-round pick just shows how much of a high-reward but high-risk player that KPJ was. In Houston, KPJ seemed to turn things around. He even dropped 50 points and 11 assists against the Bucks, which he was the youngest player in NBA history to do so. But his issues off the court were just only getting worse. During the pandemic, KPJ was among several NBA players caught violating the COVID-19 protocols, attending unauthorized gatherings. It was a small red flag, but one that hinted his lack of discipline. It was true. KPJ was starting to break out. He had his best moments as a Rocket in the NBA. Again, I mentioned the 50.11 assists historic game in 2021. He averaged 19 points a game, 5 assists per game, 4 rebounds a game. He shot 36.6% from the three, became one of the NBA's most exciting young scorers in the NBA. Just when it seemed like it was going well for KPJ, KPJ had reached the breaking point of his career. In September 2023, Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested for felony assault and strangulation of his girlfriend, former WNBA player Kyrese Godrezek, after allegedly strangling her until she couldn't breathe anymore and leaving her with a fractured vertebra. The NBA had seen enough.
After allegedly assaulting his girlfriend at a New York hotel on Monday morning. That's according to a New York City police spokesperson. And at Porter's arraignment today, prosecutors, they said the attack left a woman with a fractured neck vertebrae. So Woj,
the Houston Rockets immediately cut ties with Kevin Porter Jr. and they were just done. They were just over it. The Houston Rockets immediately distanced themselves, and days later, KPJ was traded to the Thunder, only for them to waive him on the spot. Just like that, bruh, NBA was over him, and his NBA career was over.
Houston Rockets point guard Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. Punched her in the face repeatedly with a closed fist, which caused a cut above her right eye, as well as bruising and pain to her face. Ladies and gentlemen, he should be in jail.
Once called the next James Harden, Kevin Porter Jr. now finds himself out the league at just 23 years old. He made a return, but you should never be in that situation. So I hope this is a lesson for every young hooper, and whether you're in college, high school, or aspirations to be in the NBA. This is the story of Kevin Porter Jr.